Here we go. I'd say, do you think we should get started, Toad?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Thanks to everyone for joining up. So, as you guys all know, we've been working hard behind the scenes, and today is about showing you what we have right now. We actually just got the final art textures on the beta today, and Marco stuck them on incredibly fast. So thanks for that, Marco, for preparing that. And yeah, let's get started. So first thing to do is look at the product status. This is the first step to go through, and to do that, I will show you the latest progress. This is the latest progress of the game. I'm inputting the latest code directly through Unreal Engine. And as you guys can see here, we've got these new character models. We hadn't actually really shown you what they looked like without the textures, but these just finished up today and they are optimized. Marco, I don't know whether you want to jump up here and say anything, but let's just jump in and show you guys what a match. Marco, feel free to unmute, say anything if you want to say something.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I forgot to go through the menu there actually, but let me just show you guys the updates that we've done to the game. So as you guys, whoever tried it out, whoever tried out the alpha, you'll remember that it looked a little bit different. Also, we had very different textures. Marco's done loads of work alongside our new hire on the 3D generalist side, Gaetano, to optimize the game. One really cool thing that I love that Marco added in are these totems. I'm just gonna bring you guys. Well, we'll go up there later on, but we've now improved the animations on abilities. The devs have added in this sick auto turret, and we still got the self heal. This is a control mode. Marco added in this thing where you essentially grow new bananas. And overall, like gameplay keeps progressing. Anyone like Toad, I don't know if there's any questions, but if anyone wants to drop a question in the chat, I'm happy to answer or to show a particular aspect of the game that you might want to discuss or ask. But this here is a control version. Just gonna shoot some bots. Oh, there you go. And then we've got this. Marco added in this gliding chicken. That is a brilliant addition. This is really like a bit of a unique thing. A lot of games have gliders, but we give this glider to all players to use. And yeah, as you can see, these are the Renegade skins. I actually can only show you guys them if I came in with one of the Renegades, but yeah, I hope you guys can see the progress that that has gone in here. Like the devs and Marco are working super hard to keep bringing this forward, and obviously as we keep moving forward, we want to keep improving stuff. And this here is the mace. It's hard to sometimes hit someone, but it's basically a grenade you can point at someone and go ahead and hit them with. Let's then show you. Oh, here we go. This must be Marco. Hey, what's up? That's new. You just added that. How do I do that? The taunt. What do I need to? Okay, maybe.
Press B button.
Hello?
Hey, press B button.
The D button.
B beta.
Oh, there you go. We added taunts in too. There you go. Marco's always adding stuff in, and I'm not even. That's great.
That's awesome.
Okay. So that's nice. Okay, guys. Let me keep explaining. One of the things that we've added since the alpha. So if you guys remember, we dropped the alpha back in November. Is that we've implemented all of the base gameplay system. Right here, you can see that we have the stat system. These are always randomized for players, but Your strength basically helps your melee attack. Your health, sorry, your this is your health, so you just have more health. Your intelligence reduces the cooldowns of your abilities. Your agility increases your speed, and your luck. Every time you get a kill, you either get a health replenish or you get an ammo replenish, so that helps you snowball. But all of these gameplay systems have been set up, and now players can actually test them out when they come in here. Okay, these are the renegade skins. This is the female renegade skin. The male one looks sick. We have like a fake leg that's been stuck onto it. But here is the menu that we've added. This menu is so that people can test out the different gameplay builds and test out the different abilities that we've set up. As you can see here, we've got the primary weapons. So I could, choose a sniper. I can change to the trap gun on melee. It's fun to use the relic sword. And here, for example, we can switch between the grenade or supercharge. This is for the gamers, your L1 trigger. And then this is auto turret or team healing. So this is the ultimate ability. So it's actually a combination of two triggers. And then your self healing or ammo crate. This is more of a utility on your R1. Yeah. Any questions so far? Let me check. Toad, are there any questions we have from the floor?
Nothing in the chat yet.
Nothing in the chat yet. That's great. Okay, so this is the game. As I explained, there's these systems. There's both the guns, the stats, and the abilities. So how do we monetize, or how do we offer gamers a premium experience in this game? The weapons are part of the free-to-play progression system, but the abilities and the stats are always randomized for players when they go into games. Initially, this gives players a good mix and a good feel of the different games, but once they get stuck into the game, at that stage, they'll want to purchase a champion for $9.99. Now, through account abstraction and all the latest cool tech that we have at our disposal, all of this is going to happen on chain, but the gamers aren't actually going to realize, and they're actually buying an asset for its in-game value. This is what we're pitching. We're bringing gamers in, and the best way to think about this is like a battle pass. That's why the pricing is similar to a battle pass. Just to list out, Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex Legends, PUBG, Dota 2, all of them have $10 battle passes, or they differ a little bit depending on the game, but that's their price point, and I think there's a very good reason for why that is. Players come in on free to play, and then at some stage you get the ones who are convinced to stay in the game and spend on it. Now, the key thing to understand for Arcas holders is that all of the revenue from this is going into the Arcas DAO. Well, there's a revenue share from this into the Arcas DAO treasury. The revenue share on the champions is quite high to supplement the treasury, and then we also monetize through skins. So this is where we bring additional things, and there we have a similar model to Fortnite, where we rotate skins every 2 weeks initially is our target, and basically they're all limited supply NFT mints. So if someone comes in and purchases a skin in that 2-week period, it's always the same price point, $9.99. But afterwards, depending on its popularity, it can increase. Okay, so the next thing to explain is skill staking. So another thing that we have done in the last few months is we've prepared the smart contracts, and this is the first version of the DApp prepared by Vlad. Huge thanks to you for working with me on this. And this is effectively what you guys can expect as the main utility for the Arcas token. So you're going to come to this platform, you're going to be able to view all of the different champions, which are effectively players playing within the Arcas Champions game. And as we've explained, we take their rank and we put it on chain. It's effectively just a number. And then we revenue share to Arcas holders based on dynamic rank. So to show you the user experience. Anyone with tokens is going to come here and stake. Now, this signing fee that you see here, it varies based upon rank and how many tokens have been locked into a specific champion. But the cool thing is that it gets burnt. We have a deflationary mechanism that means that every time that you come in and someone gets staked, a percentage of those tokens gets burnt. The percentage is always kept small, so always between 0 to 1%, but can kind of be thought in a similar way to how fund would work. But once you confirm, here we have MetaMask popping up. I believe we have to do an approved transaction. Yep. And the key thing to understand here is the monthly return is based on US dollars that are coming into the Arcas DAO treasury as revenue, and then obviously the DAO then sets the yield on the skill staking mechanism. So here we've skill staked successfully, and we then have to go to our positions over here where we can view the different champions we've staked and we can collect the yield. This is still very much a test net. We are still have to work around the user experience, the actual algorithms inside the smart contracts, but we have a lot of time to get there. Expect a public test net either March or April for Arcas holders that will let you test. But once you collect the yields, the USDT just show up in your wallet, and there's actually also USDT that from the yield that also get paid out to the player whenever you collect the yield. So that is pretty much how skill staking works. Another thing that happens in this process is when you stake under a champion, you transfer governance power to that champion. So what you're basically saying is, we show you all the we show you all the ranks of champions, and we incentivize you to stake the highest ranked champions. There's a system to balance this out to make sure that not, there's a limit on how much a single champion can get staked. But the idea is that then you are empowering that gamer, and they earn a percentage of your revenue share in exchange for representing, your voting power within the game, within the decisions that they make in the game, in order to keep it high quality. So we're really putting the game in control of the best gamers out there. And well, this wraps up the product status demo, the combination of Arcas champions, the game, and then skill staking, which is the protocol for holders. Are there any questions so far, Toad? Hello?
Sorry, man, I'm doing this on an iPad, bouncing between stuff.
No worries. Do we have any questions?
Yes, yeah, there's basically being asked whether or not there are any updates on guilds.
On guilds?
Yeah.
Okay. Would that be that's a bit hard to answer. Does that mean Web3 guilds, or are we talking more like esports teams and player guilds?
Nothing specific. Burner account, you around?
Not so
Yeah,
sure.
it's
Okay, I'm just gonna keep moving on. So that wraps up the product status, and the next thing to go through is the roadmap. So right now we have, as explained, as shown, we've pretty much completed the beta build. Marco's already done a lot of debugging. We still have some last few things to fix, but we're ready to release this build out to the public. We've already locked in Gaming.io as a launcher. We haven't yet announced this, so you guys in here are the first ones hearing this. We are still in talks with them around how to best, release this announcement, how to best bring hype behind what is happening and what we're doing. So, we still need some patience from you guys there, but there's going to be no issues in terms of actually releasing on their launcher. They have 300,000 users on their launcher, 95% of which are Web2 users, and that fits very well with our game. key thing to understand about our game is that it's built off of obviously the Lyra template provided to us from Epic Games, which is quite similar to Fortnite. This is incredibly powerful because it allows us to onboard Fortnite players incredibly easily. So someone who's played Fortnite will be able to jump into our game and immediately understand the gameplay loop. We're different enough to not be copying Fortnite because we have our own gameplay systems that Marco has developed, which are a combination of a lot of different games. That's something that we think gamers really want. And then there's obviously a different visual style, and we aren't doing the battle royale. Sorry, I've diverged a little bit. So going back to the roadmap, this month we are releasing the beta. Next month / April, we want to be releasing the testnet for the skill staking DApp, at which stage we can start collecting feedback from you guys. And we're also looking at a potential airdrop strategy for people who help us in terms of debugging and utilizing the skill staking DApp, because we're going to have to test things out over time. We also want to build additional systems on top and just improve the user experience there. Then the next big thing on the roadmap would be the early access. What we are currently, so one of the latest ideas I've had is to actually start off with a closed early access. Having been in conversations with different entities in the gaming realm, a lot of the things that they ask are around how we're going to create hype, how we're going to get people involved, and having a closed early access with esports professionals who would be, we'd have to go out and pitch to them and bring them in. But our system is designed specifically to bring esports players in. Then we would be able to bring some hype to market what we are doing and attract interest from gamers. We are specifically, as our product is on PC and obviously requires a good gaming PC, we are going for the esports pros who are in both Fortnite and Smite. These are the first people who we want to approach because they are extremely in target for what we are doing. Also, there's a lot of Fortnite creators, especially with what Fortnite is doing on their platform. There's that's a very good way for us to start acquiring users. Then following that, following the early access, following that closed early access, then we reach the early access stage, which is where we release the game out to the public and we start generating revenue through champion sales. At this stage, we have a stream of revenue into the Arcas DAO treasury. And lastly, we have the full product release. One key update that we are exploring is the L2. So essentially putting our game and our DAO on our own layer 2. The Web3 space has really moved fast and really evolved in terms of what it can do. And you'd be surprised how simple it is to set up your own blockchain. I'd say that in a year's time, it's really just a single click, and anybody anywhere is going to be able to have their own blockchain and token, which is crazy compared to where we were in 2021. But it's really good for the space. That wraps up the roadmap. Are there any questions at this stage?
We can always harvest them, and I can pitch them to you in maybe the council.
Yeah.
We could do it week in. So, guys, we're looking to get a bit more community engagement with some Discord focused, TG focused, Spaces focused, AMAs and such going forward. They should be regular. And so any questions you want to ask now, we can always pitch to Dan in the next session.
I'm happy to answer questions. We really want to have an open dialogue with everyone. We've all been on this journey for a long time, and really without the support of you guys in the community, I know that I can sometimes go off and not be seen, but usually there's either a lot of conversations happening trying to convince people about what we're doing, trying to spread the word, or having to code, which also kind of takes a lot of focus and time. But yeah. Sorry,
So
just
we
to
go on.
no, sorry.
But just being asked, what are your personal goals with the project?
My personal goal. So I've we've myself also, well, Marco, we've played games our whole life, pretty much. And me personally, I've been working in Web3 since 2021. Before that, in 2020, I was actually specializing in blockchain. Well, I studied computer science, and then I specialized in blockchain development, where I developed a smart contract based protocol. It had nothing to do with gaming back then. It had to do with copyright. But yeah, like, one of my personal goals really is to leverage smart contracts and EVM technology to really add value to gaming. And this is what I feel is very special about our approach. And it's really thanks to the collaboration that me and Mark have had, the fact that we've been working for 3 years at this stage, and the two approaches, right? Because Marco is really focused on building a very good game. You can see that from the visual style. He's always adding things to the gameplay and really making a cool experience. And the key thing to understand is that, to some degree, we don't want Web3 to get in the way of the game. Like, I play Fortnite. Sometimes, now a bit less so, but there's been periods where I play Fortnite every day, and so I know what that end product is supposed to feel and look like, and sometimes, yeah, like, some elements of Web3 also complicate the way that the backend infrastructure works, the way everything syncs up, etc. So we kind of took the approach of, let's make a very fun game, and then skill staking is really just a layer on top. The entire point of it initially was that gamers could come into the game, and just be good at the game, and then start earning without having to actually ever stake or do any of these things. They come in, they play, they like the game, they buy a champion for $9.99. They can even buy skins, etc. These are things that they're already very familiar with. But in our game, you get the value add that when that firstly, you can go from completely amateur to pro seamlessly. Like, our system, skill staking, incentivizes the gradual staking also of the kind of upcoming players. We don't want a system where all the money is stuck at the top. We want a system that incentivizes esports teams at the top, with the top players, to continuously be scouting for other players who they believe might be coming up, who they might be able to support, etc. And our system just facilitates that using blockchain technology. It really just removes a lot of the paperwork, and a lot of the BD that is normally necessary to have these kind of working relationships between investors, teams, and players. And yeah, that's one of the things that I personally really want to bring to the space, just to actually make gaming better. One of the other things that we want to do is develop a stack that enables this technology, like this system, which is also based upon the tokenization of rank. Key thing to understand, guys, is that rank is a gaming RWA. It's a gaming real world asset. This is, I've kind of reached this realization through some of the key advisors we've been working with. But yeah, by combining time and skill, rank essentially represents both of those two combined, and as well as the reputation of the player. And it's an excellent way for an investor class of people to back gamers. Really, there's in my opinion, very few data points that would be as significant as rank, because that's we're specifically looking at esports games, by the way, like the more competitive games, but it's definitely an important element there. And yeah, we want to bring this technology out to the world. We think that it's going to just make things better for gamers worldwide. And it's going to enable a lot of ways in which people can also interact with each other. For example, right now, if you had a friend who was really good at gaming, really passionate at gaming, there's a limited amount of ways in which you could interact with them. You could obviously play with them. That's the first thing you want to do. You can support them on YouTube. You can support them in different ways. But with skill staking, you can actually invest in them. And you don't need contracts. You don't need anything. You just need a MetaMask wallet. You buy some Arcas, or it could be tokens that are effectively shares of any game. So it's almost like you're investing in if you could, you'd invest in Call of Duty and Fortnite, etc. And then yeah, you just skill stake your friend, and this same system can apply to so many different things. Like parents can skill stake their children. As I said, esports teams can skill stake their pros. And there's really all kinds of things that we unlock, and this is what we want to do. We want to really boost what we can do in gaming, and I personally really find a lot of purpose in doing this. I've spent a lot of my life playing games, which means a lot of the way I think has been influenced by a lot of the games I've played. I've played, I've competed. I've never been so good at them, but I definitely feel like we're in a position as a gaming studio that's been through Binance incubation. We've also been in the space for a long time, and that has really refined our ability to do things, to discern what's good and what's not. And yeah, we're just in a position to really execute this right now. And as I've said, maybe six to 9 months ago, we really are trying to set the meta with what we do, and we hope to get that done. Okay, I've definitely answered that question, I think. So let me jump back into partnerships. So partnerships are essential for us as a project. Working with other people in this space is essential for us to have technology that we can use, insert into our game, to have relationships. Potentially we want to reach a certain project, and therefore, we have a certain project who knows them, etc. We connect quickly. So a lot of the things that we've been doing in the last few months is really focusing on partnerships and building and fostering the relationships with other projects. And this is one of the things that you're going to start seeing. And yeah, like the idea is that we start really getting out there and getting our partners to also showcase us to their community. We'll also be showcasing our partners to your community, but it's important for us to grow together with other people in the space. Key partnerships also enable a number of things. I won't get into the partnerships too much right now because we are still in the works in terms of discussions. But yeah, this is really a key thing for us right now, and yeah, we hope that once they're complete, you guys understand. Obviously, I've already mentioned we want to be releasing on the Game in the IO launcher. That's actually something that we started a good few months ago, but yeah, this has been part of the emphasis. We're also going to be starting some AMAs where we bring in a lot of projects that we know in the space, and this is an opportunity for us to then meet more projects through them, and to obviously keep growing our brand in Web3. And lastly, marketing. This is obviously a key thing that we have not particularly started yet. This ties into partnerships. So one of the key things to understand is we haven't yet gone out and onboarded any KOLs in terms of marketing. We have spoken to a lot of projects. We are looking to get exposure through other projects, and we have also lined up KOLs. However, seeing as KOLs, are effectively a marketing expense in a lot of in a lot of cases. We are working on the actual catalyst, i.e. the hype that is really going to work well in order to start spreading the news of what we are doing. We really want, Arcas and skill staking and the Arcas Champions game to explode out in the scene. And yeah, like a lot of that is, combining both what is, what is very bullish is essentially in the space, what is trending, what the narrative is, alongside what makes sense tech-wise. We aren't going to jump into something simply because right now the narrative is XYZ. We're always gonna, try and understand what is happening and what the technology is as well as possible, how it can integrate into what we are doing, and then try and understand these things. But do expect a lot more exposure in the next few months. Also, part of that is clearly the content. So one key thing to understand is once we release the beta out, that already sets us a league apart. We're a project with a beta, and anyone who jumps into it is going to see and be able to actually enjoy the game experience. And yeah, at this stage, we will be talking on a lot more spaces, a lot more AMAs with other projects. We will be talking to you guys in one way or another every week. So this week, we actually have this Discord showcase. Next week, we're going to have an AMA on spaces where we host some other projects. The week after that, we're going to have a Telegram council where we update you again in Telegram. Obviously, there won't be the visual aid. So I've called it Telegram Council because there it's a lot more just about hearing what the community is thinking, what your ideas are, etc. We always want feedback. Like, you guys are our biggest asset. The way that I like to see it is, it's our token model is really that you are shareholders in the game, and therefore, yeah, like as founder, it is my purpose to obviously communicate with you guys and work with you guys to better our collective. Okay, and time for questions. I feel like I've covered a lot of things here. Do we have anything?
There's a question about Runway, which you've kind of answered with the marketing and KOLs.
Yeah, so runway wise, like right now, a lot of our treasury is in tokens. One of the key things that we are looking at in order to scale is to onboard other VCs. And yeah, we would essentially be doing that through token ODCs, and that would then allow us to scale our team. So this is the key thing to understand, that we are in discussions. However, this is also one of those things that we can't tell you guys because of how they work. So we're gonna have to have a few more discussions, and then hopefully we will have a lot more news with regards to fundraising, scaling, and Runway. Runway wise, we're doing good. As I said, we have plenty of tokens, and we also have cash. So there's no worries there. But we do want to scale the team. The crucial thing to understand is that right now we have 5 full-time people on the team, led by Marco, and then we also have freelancers. So we have we just had 2 freelancers working with us. This is kind of normal because of how the industry, the gaming industry operates. Sometimes we bring in freelancers for maybe 3 months to perform a specific task, but we don't keep them on full time. So at this stage, in order for us to scale the team and add more people in the full time, but also go and handpick a couple more specialists to add some cool things into our game. We really do need to fundraise, and we are in those discussions. Obviously, there are a number of strategies. There is also building hype behind the project, getting some marketing, getting some KOLs, and some eyes on us. And at that stage, if we move up to a higher price floor, also funding becomes easier. But yeah, for that, we are at the beta release. Any other questions?
Nothing as yet, sir.
Not so many questions, guys. Is it that good? Well, it is kind of that good, but it is kind of that good, but I
what
would.
is the beta release date?
When is the beta release date? So this is dependent upon Game in the Isle. We've already had a discussion, but they're actually updating some things in their launcher. These are things that they are doing that we are not actually sorry that we are not open to their internal DevOps. But yeah, they have to complete some things before they can release our beta. But we should have we've already discussed releasing in February with them. We still have to set an actual date. And we do have a little few more things to fix in the game, but we expect that next week we're going to have the actual finalized build. And then on their end, they already have a solution to simply upload it. If you look at the game in launcher, they actually already have some other games in beta. I don't know who has this, but yeah, they effectively have some other games already in beta here, and this is what we are going for. As for the actual, yeah.
Will we be featured on that main page as well?
Yeah, our game should be here. Sorry, I have to log in right now. I'm not sure how many games are going to be on here, but they actually only have 9 games on here, so it's very good in terms of getting exposure for our beta. Obviously, right now it's still early on in terms of attracting a lot of gamers, but we're going to start looking at especially some LAN tournaments, getting some people downloading it and giving us feedback. We're doing.
Any other questions? I mean, guys, if you've got questions that come to mind after the stream's finished, then just drop them in chat or DM me, and we can either gather them all for next time or we can fire them out in chat. No problem.
Modes and features. Okay. So in the beta, we have still the same modes as the alpha. However, a lot of improvements have been made in terms of the actual UI, UX of the actual modes. Let me jump in here. Well, actually, the brawl mode wasn't in the alpha, was it, Marco?
No, there was, but it was really basic, not anything.
Yeah.
No.
So Marco upgraded the UI here, as you guys can see. Yeah, this is the more competitive game mode, Brawl. This is the one that we hope to kind of showcase and get some people involved in. And yeah, the idea right now is elimination. So if I find an ape somewhere here. Ooh. Wait a second. So there's this game mode, then there's team deathmatch, and then there is also conquest, where, as I showed earlier, Marco added in the bananas that grow. There's also been a lot of bugs that have been fixed, and even their improvements to the UI. And then, yeah, as I said, there's also the team deathmatch mode that is still fairly basic. In terms of the features added, as I mainly said, we implemented the base gameplay systems. These were only an example in the alpha. Now, every time that you jump in, you're actually going to have different randomized stats. Obviously, once we have the actual NFTs, then you have a set of stats, and then over time you can actually upgrade them and add points to customize it the way that you want. We've also added the ability to switch between your different totem abilities, which is key. And then, we also added the loadout menu for the primary, secondary, and melee weapons. And currently, yeah, these are the features that we've added. But the moment you guys get your hands on this, you'll see that there's been a lot of work in terms of the optimizations. Like Marco, you might be able to expand a little bit more here, but there's been significant increases in terms of performance, and this is obviously very important for releasing this game out to the public, where we obviously want it to start generating revenue.
Yeah, we are just like halfway, but we definitely made a lot of improvements and half, and also the load on the GPU. So I'm pretty confident that every gaming PC now can handle pretty easily this game. So it's a matter of making everything very, very smooth for high-end type of needs.
Oh, look, we got these guys here. Okay. Any more questions, guys?
Too focused on this. uh, Chris is typing.
Yeah.
Faster, Chris. Is there a plan to have a player versus environment mode? PvE.
Sorry?
Story mode, basically. Is there going to be one?
Okay, I'll let.
We're actually developing a story inside the game, a lore that we want to build to give a little bit of personality inside the game, and with the world building, and then we can definitely expand that concept into an entire game mode. So that could be an idea, but for now, what it's inside the pipeline, we are focusing a lot on competitive stuff and PvP. But in the future, it would be very nice thing to add like a campaign or training session that is like lore based with story and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We've, it's very early on to discuss story mode, but there's definitely the content, as Marcos said, to do it. Also on the financial side, if we eventually got to that stage and had the interest, we could definitely do it. This is one of the decisions that we will be able to also discuss one day as a DAO, and what I've essentially thought would also make sense in the story mode could also be a seasonal thing. So if we developed, say, a story every year, and then we just sold that as a one-time NFT for say $20, $30, that would also become a revenue flow for the actual Arcas DAO treasury. This is how we want you guys to start thinking about the project, about who we are and our identity. So you guys are also all shareholders and stakeholders in this game that we're showing you guys, and obviously, you know, yeah, we're glad to be with you guys and move forward along this journey. Okay, other questions?
So, what is the soonest thing to happen in terms of marketing?
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, sure. What will be the first thing that we will do in terms of marketing?
Okay, so firstly, exposure with other projects. Secondly, an improvement in terms of the actual visuals. So Marco has prepared far better graphics than what I had before. I see the game is stuck because the bots are going back and forth. And then there's also the preparation of some video content. We especially want to use this for partnerships to get it across other partner Twitters. We are also gonna. We've also started this. Sorry, we've also had some discussions to start spaces with other projects. So, well, we've actually started. What's the best way of describing this, Toad? Maybe we have someone who will be sending us a number of invites to spaces run by different projects in Web3, and this is an excellent opportunity for us to get out there and just introduce other communities to what we're doing, bring them over to our obviously socials, our Twitter socials, where we're going to be showcasing more gameplay, more visual content of what we're doing, and then with a lot more events where we engage with you guys. For example, this Discord showcase will be every 4 weeks, and then in 2 weeks' time there'll be the Telegram Council. That'll also be every 4 weeks. That is where all the new people that we bring in, we then have an opportunity to update them, to answer the latest questions, and obviously this is where you guys are essential, because when we get new people coming in to the Telegram, they're going to have questions, etc. And the more we bring them into what we're doing, bring them into the Arcas community, the better it is for everyone. We want everyone to know what we are doing, what the mission is, and to be a part of it. Really, that's an essential part of what we're doing. So yeah, to reiterate, exposure with other projects, better marketing content, a lot more presence with the community to retain people, and then fourth, as I said, we already have relationships lined up to kick off KOL marketing. It's just about having a very bullish catalyst slash partnership that we can really broadcast a lot. Right now, we haven't pushed too much with KOL marketing because it's the best way to probably do it is to have a very strong catalyst that we can then go out. Doing step-by-step marketing is obviously still something good that we are doing through partnerships, etc. But we prefer spending most of our budget on the actual game. As such, we aren't going out and spending loads in terms of marketing right now.
So there's a couple more questions coming in. Lifesir asks, says that he thinks we're undervalued because BSC as an ecosystem hasn't blown up yet. On the project side, I think things are looking great. Are there any plans to move to other chains?
Okay. This is a great question. Let me just read it up. Yeah, so one of the main things, as you guys probably, if you guys hadn't caught up, that was firstly the idea of using the Banana project that we've been working on as the layer 2. That side has it hasn't really moved along as we thought. Also, upon further reconsideration, things make a lot more sense for Arcas to have its own layer 2 chain. Reason being is that we are designing this game and experience to onboard tens of thousands of gamers, and that is a lot of active wallets, that is a lot of active users, and it does justify having our own actual chain. One of the main chains that I'm looking at right now is AVAX. AVAX has been extremely strong in terms of gaming. They have branded themselves very well, but they also have an incredibly good suite of tools at the disposal of game developers. And this is also a key aspect that we're looking at. We are currently still on the BNB ecosystem right now, but yeah, we are definitely looking at other chains. We are looking at other chains for both tech, for both funding, and also for marketing. But also for long-term exposure and reliability. Different chains have different L2 programs. There's the AVAX subnets. BNB chain has the Binance application side chains. Polygon has the supernets. Then there's Ethereum with the zero knowledge EVM. There's a lot of different L2 solutions that are starting to become increasingly simple that we can utilize on top of the main chain. For whoever's following the industry is trying to move very much into a multi-chain world where a lot of apps which have large user bases have their own app chains, which obviously write onto a base layer. So right now we're still on BNB, but strongly looking at AVAX as another chain. Next question. Maybe I should open up my Telegram on my phone.
You're good. It's what are the plans with the use of AI in gaming?
Okay, so one of the key threats to the skill staking protocol, which we have here, is cheating. Now, cheating is essentially a problem for all Web3 gaming. Wherever you mix money with games, you open yourself up to people who try and exploit that. And that is just a fundamental truth of how the internet works. One example to look at is online poker, which right now is really struggling because it's just all AI and bots playing online, and cheating is rampant and nobody really trusts it. That's why the poker industry is really focused a lot more on live games right now, and online is a little bit unplayable. Now, having settled this thesis around cheating in our system, firstly, in the actual game, we will implement the same anti-cheat systems as, for example, Fortnite has. Epic Games, we're building off of Unreal Engine and Epic Games, and they already have solutions that are in place. Our additional solution is to set up an AI anti-cheat system which filters out essentially all of the results of the gamers and removes the ones that are cheaters and then puts those results on chain, essentially enabling people to then invest into the actual rank of players. This system is one of a kind. And yeah, it will take some time for us to build it. The great thing about this system is that we can retrain AI systems that have been trained on Fortnite specifically for our game. And as the main concern in terms of cheating for our game are aimbots, it really maps out well in terms of a lot of the systems that are currently already trained Fortnite will just simply work very well inside our game. And yeah, this is an additional measure of security that we're taking. And yeah, we are kind of in this position because in 2021/2022, when we released the beta of the Block Paper Scissors game, for those of you that were here and remember that, we had loads of bots. I was personally reading a lot of the feedback surveys that were submitted. And honestly, I think that we maybe had like 90 to 95% of people botting that game. Obviously, this game experience is on a completely different level to what that was. But the truth is that, yeah, whenever there's an opportunity to make money, there is going to be, especially when it's on the internet, there's going to be someone who tries to find a clever way around it or to exploit it. And with the advance of specifically AI systems, it really is increasingly important to actually use AI systems as a defense mechanism against them. And yeah, this is what we're looking to do. Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Let's see.
The only other thing that's been mentioned, only one more thing mentioned, which is what we were talking about 2 hours ago, and that's the Neo. Any thoughts about getting a Neo Tokyo NFT and leveraging exposure? I've kind of answered in chat.
there's definitely these angles to take. Neo Tokyo is a very big, good, and interconnected group of people, especially in gaming. And yeah, we definitely want to get in the mix of those things. Obviously, these assets aren't so cheap, so we just have to analyze it a little bit, and then once we have the right budget, we can commit to it, and then really make the most of these opportunities. But yeah, we have time, guys, and we really want to get things right. The important thing is that the product keeps moving along and improving, and Marco is doing that diligently, as we can all see from the progress of the actual game itself. And then obviously that we gradually keep getting more exposure, we keep building up the community, and moving forward, really. Okay, maybe we'll take another one, two questions, and then we'll look at wrapping things up. Um,
Nothing so far trickling in. But
I'm seeing we've got a tweet from Bpod that is sick. Yeah, guys, like we need to make sure that we engage and really spread the word about what we're doing. One thing, next week we'll be hosting an AMA on our spaces. We've invited 6 other projects to join in, and I'll be preparing questions for them. It's going to be incredibly interesting, and we really want you guys to all show up, to all engage, and to really, we as a community need to. Yeah, we need to just be known as a great community of people who other projects want to interact with. This is crypto. It's not a huge space, and the power of word of mouth is really good in the sense that we really want these projects to come in, to have a great time on spaces with us, and then to really go out and tell people about what we're doing. Obviously, we're also going to learn about what they're doing. We've picked different projects with very interesting backgrounds for you guys. And yeah, I'm preparing those questions. I think they're going to be very interesting to listen to, and really showcase what other teams are doing in the space.
is
Okay.
the Dan, is the beta build available for these guys to play now? Has it been
The beta
pushed
build
through?
it's not available right now. I'm running it from the actual Unreal Engine editor, but next week, I believe Marco and the devs should have a beta build complete, and at that stage, next week we should be able to give you guys a definite date in terms of when we are going to be releasing the beta. Um,
Yeah, I
and
think given
yeah, that's it.
given that it's likely to be much better optimized, it'd be great for you guys to to get on there and play it and really experience it. And when you love it, because you will,
Yeah. We're
just
going to be
share it on
organizing
socials.
sessions. Yeah. Exactly as Sod said, we want you guys to be making content, to be engaging with what we're doing. This benefits all of us. Obviously, we are also doing a lot of stuff on our side, but if when we all work together, we can really make some noise, and that will benefit all of us in the long run. Um, yeah. Uh,
You were going to mention the game nights as well.
yeah, the game nights. Sorry. Yeah, the game nights are an initiative that we are going to set up in order to find times for all of us to play together on Discord, and this is key so that if everyone is online at the same time, then all the matches get filled. One of the key things that Mark and the team has done to really improve the user experience of the beta is rotated maps. So before we always had to go out of a map, get back in. Now we just create a lobby, we get everyone in it, and we just keep playing. We all unmute ourselves, and we just have a good time with the product. Obviously, if the game night keeps on growing, then we're probably going to have to figure out a better structure. We might start organizing tournaments. That really depends on how fast we grow. Okay. All right, guys. That makes it about an hour. Let me just check if there are any last questions, but I don't see anything.
Nope.
Or
think
on Discord.
No, I think you're
All
good.
right, everyone. So thanks for showing up, and thanks for being a part of our community. Thanks for joining us, and we really look forward to to this adventure with you guys, to releasing this game and this protocol, and to really making waves in Web3 and esports. We are still going to be here and building in 6 months' time, guys. So every little bit of energy, every little bit of effort that goes into showing the game to someone else, to explaining skill staking to someone else, and to just bring people into the Arcas community is really going to help. The effect of network is incredible. If you convince one other person, they can then go convince 10 other people who can convince other 10 other people, and all of a sudden, one conversation brought 100 people to Arcas. And yeah, and then it can go even faster from there. So yeah.
Apes together strong.
Apes together strong. Exactly. Okay. Well then, guys, have a great evening, or a great morning to wherever you are in the world, and all the best. We look forward to talking to you guys again. As I said, next week, AMA on Wednesday, lots of other projects, interesting topics, and then the week after, Council on Telegram, where we'll open up the floor. Everyone can bring up different topics, voice their opinions, and just let us know. Just talk to us. We're always here. Cheers, everyone. Thanks to Toad, thanks to Marco, and everyone else in the team. We'll talk soon.
Cheers.